Welcome everyone to this webinar presentation. Today we come together to explore emerging opportunities in the Indonesian tourism sector against the backdrop of our brand new Indonesia-Australia Comprehensive Economic Partnership Agreement, better and easier known as IA-CEPA. I'm Phil Turtle, National President of the Australia-Indonesia Business Council, and I'm honoured to welcome you all on behalf of the Indonesian Embassy in Canberra, the Consulates General in Melbourne, Sydney and Perth, and the Consulate in Darwin, together with the Indonesia Investment Promotion Centre in Sydney. I'd like to particularly acknowledge the participation of my dear friend, Ambassador Kristiarto Legowo, Consuls General Ibu Speaker in Melbourne, Pak Heru in Sydney, Ibu Dewi in Perth, and Consul Pak Gofan in Darwin. Also, IIPC Director Pak Henry Rombe in Sydney. Before commencing proceedings, as some of us are coming to you from various parts of Australia, we acknowledge the traditional owners of the land on which we meet, and we would also like to pay our respects to elders past, present and emerging. Today's event and collaboration is another strong indicator of the great relationship shared between our countries and organisations, and this can only assist in the successful implementation of joint projects and in the overall success of IA-CEPA for the benefit of both countries and our business sectors. Apart from a broad range of other benefits, under IA-CEPA, Indonesia is now open to 100% Australian ownership for 3-, 4 and 5-star hotels and resorts with no geographical limits. 67% Australian ownership of most other accommodation, restaurants, cafes and bars, as well as tour operator services and tourism consultancy services, together with 51% ownership for marinas. People can find more details on IA-CEPA on the Department of Foreign Affairs and Trade website. As most would be aware, a large number of international tourists visit Bali each year, and Indonesia is pushing strongly to open up many other wonderful destinations across the archipelago. I was fortunate myself to holiday in Lombok, Labuan Bajo and the Komodo and Gili Islands just this past Christmas, and I'm a huge fan of all things Indonesia. We'll today hear from representatives from 4 exciting tourism projects in Borobudur, Highland, Banyuwangi, Tana Mori and Mandalika, as well as from the Visit Indonesia Tourism Office in Sydney. Throughout today's event, the Q&A feature in Zoom at the bottom of your screen will be active, and we'll be drawing questions from those and some that have been submitted in advance for our speakers after their presentations. We'll be breaking this event into 2 sessions, with 2 presentations to be followed by joint Q&A, and then the final 2 presentations with further Q&A. Please remember to lodge your questions at any time during this event. To get things underway, it now gives me great pleasure to introduce Indonesia's Ambassador to Australia and Vanuatu, His Excellency Kristiarto Legowo, to make his opening remarks. Pak Chris.
Thank you so much, my good friend, Pak Phil Turtle, National President of the IIPC. My colleague, Consul General of the Republic of Indonesia in Sydney, Melbourne, Perth, and also our Consul in Darwin, Pak Edward Tanner Napitupulu, President Director of PT Pelindo Properti Indonesia, Pak Alfonso Pardede of PT Flores Prosperindo, Ibu Emma Widiastuti, Vice President of the Indonesia Tourism Development Corporation, Pak Bisma Jatmika of the Borobudur Executive Authority Board, Pak Henry Rombe, Director of Indonesia Investment Promotion Centre, IIPC in Sydney, Bu Miriam Tulevski from VITO, distinguished participants, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon to everyone and welcome, and also thank you for joining us in today's launch of our webinar series entitled Maximizing IA-CEPA, New Opportunities in Tourism, Infrastructure, Manufacturing Industry, and also Agribusinesses. Today's webinar is built upon our previous virtual Indonesia-Australia Business Summit on Indonesia-Australia Comprehensive Economic Partnership amidst COVID-19, held on 4th of June 2020. With the entry into force of IA-CEPA on the 5th of July 2020, we do hope that we'll be able to capitalize upon this momentum to encourage and support the full implementation of the agreement. Today's webinar is a kick-off to a series of webinars to discuss concrete investment opportunities in Indonesia. The series will consist of 3 sessions held fortnightly with a different focus sector in each session. Through this webinar series, we will hear directly from the related businesses themselves about the opportunities available for investment in each highlighted sector in Indonesia. In our inaugural session today, we will delve deeper into new opportunities in tourism sector. Understandably, this has been one of the hardest hit sectors due to this pandemic. But the Indonesian tourism sector is gearing up for the revival in the new normal. We hope to be able to build and reinforce a stronger and a more resilient tourism sector post-COVID-19. Unquestionably, Indonesia and Australia have had a long-standing relationship in tourism. Australia tourists are always within the top 5 tourists visiting Indonesia each year. In 2019, Australia had the 4th highest number of tourists in Indonesia. Unfortunately, due to the circumstances we currently face, as of 1st of July 2020, the Indonesian Ministry of Tourism and Creative Economy has recorded a decrease in the number of Australians visiting Indonesia. As we could see also in the presentations that you have before you, in 2020, from June until March, we recorded only around 248,913 Australian visiting Indonesia. The number of Australian visitors to Indonesia halted by March of 2020 when the travel restrictions was imposed by both of our two countries. Under the normal circumstances, we would have been seeing another rise in Australian visitors to Indonesia by July, as the trend shows in the previous years. But it's quite unfortunate that we could not make this happen due to this global pandemic. Bali remains the main destination for Australian visiting Indonesia. In 2019, a total of around 1.2 million Australians visited Bali. During the period of January to March 2020, as many as 217,981 Australian visiting Bali. And we all understand tourism of Australia data places Indonesia second in the list of tourist destination for Australian in 2019. We are number 2 after New Zealand. Even amidst this pandemic, Australian tourists remain hopeful to travel back to Indonesia. A report from Ibu Miriam from VITO had listed Indonesia as the main travel wish list for Australian post-COVID-19. There are several key reasons why Australian tourists enjoy visiting Indonesia. First, geographically, we are very close neighbors. It is closer and cheaper to fly from Perth to Bali or Lombok than to Canberra or Sydney. Prior to the pandemic, we had seen also several new direct flights opening between Australia and Indonesia, indicating a rising demand for greater connectivity. Indonesia's vast archipelago offers also diversity of experiences in culture, natural beauty, culinary, and outdoor activities. Indonesia also is a home to Borobudur Temple and a number of other sites that are listed in UNESCO World Heritage List. There's always something special for every type of traveler, whether it be lone travelers, couples, or families, and whether you would like backpacking or traveling in style. The people of Indonesia are very friendly and welcoming, and we are always ready to welcome our guests. And in order to cater the needs of our visitors, I believe that the tourism sector in Indonesia needs to continue to grow and develop, and hopefully through the partnership with our friends in Australia. This is where you can play a role in developing Indonesia's tourism sector. Today, you will hear about 4 ongoing projects that we are going to develop a number of growing tourist destinations in Indonesia. And these are projects with great potential and ready and available for you to seize. With the IA-CEPA entering into force on July 2020, we will even have a greater access for investment in tourism and travel-related services, such as investment in hotels, travel agencies, and tour operators, tourist guide services, and also tourist resorts. Indonesia is also keen on welcoming investment in the infrastructure area to develop further our tourism industry. And this will surely lead to boost economic growth and prosperity for our people. To close, allow me to extend my appreciation to our friends and colleagues who have put their time and effort in making this webinar series a reality. Our Consul General in Sydney, Melbourne, Perth, and also in Darwin, our colleague at the Indonesian Investment Coordinating Board in Sydney, the IIPC, and of course, this event will not would not have been able to be realized without the support of our friends of the IIPC. So thank you so much, Pak Phil. Allow me also to extend my gratitude to our 4 esteemed panelists. Pak Bisma Jatmika from Borobudur Executive Authority Board. Pak Bisma, yesterday I had a very productive conversation also with Pak Bupati of Magelang, exploring the possibilities for us to attract more tourists coming from Australia to visit Borobudur. Pak Edward Denner Napitupulu of PT Pelindo Properti Indonesia, Pak Alfonso Pardede from the PT Flores Prosperindo, Ibu Emma Widiastuti from ITDC. Also, I hope that they would be able to provide all the detailed insights into available investment opportunities in this tourist destination and on how Australian investors can get involved. I would like also to encourage you to follow the upcoming sessions in this webinar series, which will be held every other Thursday at 1 p.m. At 1 p.m. On 10 September 2020, our focus will be on project from East Java, and on the 24th September 2020, our focus will be on the project from South Kalimantan. So once again, thank you so much for making the time to be with us in this webinar, and I would like to wish you a very productive discussion. Thank you so much. Thank you, Pak Phil.
Thank you, Ambassador. It's always our pleasure to support you in everything you do. We now commence our first session with an introduction to the destination we will showcase today by Miriam Tulevski, Country Manager for the Visit Indonesia Tourism Office and Founder and Director of Indo-A-Go-Go Tourism Marketing. Miriam has a 30-year marketing career spanning Indonesia and Australia and now focuses on tourism development. In 2016, Miriam was appointed a Visit Indonesia Tourism Officer by the Ministry of Tourism of the Republic of Indonesia, which was expanded to a national role in 2020. In 2017, Miriam established Indo-A-Go-Go Tourism Marketing and Consultancy, Australia's only tourism marketing business focusing exclusively on connecting Indonesian destinations and travel product with travellers in the tourism industry. Miriam has a BA in Applied Communications from Western Sydney University and an MBA from the University of New South Wales. Welcome, Miriam.
Thank you very much, Phil. Also, thank you. Share my screen here. Thank you very much, IIPC, and also Ambassador, Consulate Generals and speakers today. In good news for investors, most travellers don't understand the type of holiday that they can have in Indonesia. They just know Bali. They're unaware of new destinations already offering fairly easy travel, high levels of comfort, and a range of unique experiences across leisure, culture, and easy adventure. And this represents growth potential. In Australia, as Phil mentioned, I'm the Visit Indonesia Tourism Office representative. This is a private sector appointment by the Indonesian Ministry of Tourism, where I support the ministry and their agencies with information, advice, networking, and campaign support. Over the next couple of minutes, I'll share some facts and inspiration for travelling to and investing in Indonesia. Indonesia has unique competitive advantages over rival destinations. From an Australian perspective, those rival destinations are an Australian domestic holiday, Fiji, and Thailand. Indonesia is the world's largest archipelagic nation, with a string of 17,000 islands that straddle the equator. Given that 60% of Australian travellers want relaxation on a holiday, Indonesia's tropical islands, warm, friendly people, and slower pace offer abundant choices for pure relaxation. Also in travel, we hear a lot about the value travellers place on unique, authentic cultural experiences. Indonesia has over 350 ethnicities, making it one of the most diverse, culturally diverse countries in the world. About 40% of Australians enjoy visiting gardens and parks while on holiday. Indonesia has among the highest range of plant and animal species on Earth, which present the nature lover with a visual feast, both on land and in the water. And finally, Indonesia's history is like no other, with influences from the Chinese, Arab, and European spice traders, Dutch, Portuguese, British and French colonialists, and Japanese occupiers. Indonesia declared its independence just 75 years ago last week. Now, 50% of Australians like to see historical places when they visit, have an overseas holiday, and this doesn't even index yet on the reasons why Australians travel to Indonesia. So there is plenty of opportunity for growth. How many people are visiting Indonesia? Not enough. We see here there are 16 million visits to Indonesia last year. Australia has around 9 million. But Thailand, one of the key rivals, has twice as many visitors. Even Bali Island attracts 6 million visitors per year and is 5 times larger in landmass than Singapore, which attracts 19 million visitors per year. This represents plenty of growth. We were just talking about international visitors. They're growing at about 14% per annum, year on year, up to 2018. And there are 303 million domestic visits made each year, growing at just 1.5%, and also plenty of growth potential there. Who's coming? Our ambassador explained that a moment ago. Where are they going? Both Australian and international visitors visit Bali as the preferred destination, followed by Jakarta, which is predominantly a friends and relatives destination. And then the Riau Islands province, the islands of Batam and Bintan, a couple of tropical islands off Singapore. And it's predominantly Australian expats from Australia, Australian expats from Singapore that are heading to those destinations. So what do we know about the Australian visitor to Indonesia? As our ambassador mentioned, we had almost 1.4 million visits last year. The Australian traveller to Indonesia is a budget traveller, spending around $2,000 per visit, compared to the average spend of Australians on overseas holidays, which is $5,000 per visit. The average Australian spends 11 days in Bali, and we would like to grow that to 13 over the next 5 years. There's also hope to grow spend by promoting increased quality tourism experiences. We mentioned before where Australians are travelling to, so again, plenty of opportunity to expose Australian travellers to other destinations in Indonesia. So what are the government of Indonesia's goals over the next few years? The National Planning, Development and Planning Ministry has established a growth goal of almost 50%, so 24 million international arrivals. This is pre-COVID to the end of 2024. The revenue target is what Australians are already delivering, which is $2,000, equivalent of Australian $2,000 per arrival. and an increased focus on quality tourism experiences. However, right now, both the central government and the Ministry of Tourism are focusing very much on domestic tourism and implementing cleanliness, health and safety protocols for when international travel can resume. There's obviously tremendous demand for that. So with a country that is so large and with such tremendous diversity, it's really important to prioritise destinations, and the government of Indonesia has done that. You would have heard about the 10 priority destinations, also known as the 10 new Balis. These are predominantly investor destinations in that the priority destinations are not all traveller ready. This has then been reclassified or additional classification of super priority destinations. These super priority destinations are in the blue boxes, and excluding Likupang in North Manado, in North Sulawesi, the super priority destinations are already traveller ready. They already have sufficient access, amenities and attractions to satisfy travellers right now. We're going to have a look today at four of those destinations. The first we're going to have a look at is Banyuwangi. Now, Banyuwangi is located in East Java. We've put Bali in here in this map as a reference, and you will see that Banyuwangi is just to the west of Bali, and then Yogyakarta, the town and also special region of Yogyakarta, is located in central Java, and the Borobudur temple is just north of the town of Yogyakarta. So what is Banyuwangi famous for? Banyuwangi is famous for its blue fire volcano. There are only 2 blue fire volcanoes in the world. The other one is in Iceland. Best experienced with I realise I'm at 5 minutes, I will be quick. It is well known by surfers from Bali that surf the southern coast of Banyuwangi at a place called G-Land. It is also famous for a fashion carnival called the Jember Fashion Carnival, with costumes to rival the Rio Carnivale, however with a little less nudity. Our next destination is Yogyakarta. Just go over there. Yogyakarta is in central Java, and it's where Javanese royalty, high culture and history coalesce. Its empires and kingdoms have brought the world to the Borobudur temple. Built in the 9th century, it is the world's largest Buddhist temple and one of 4 UNESCO World Heritage Sites of cultural significance. The town of Jogja, as it is known, is famous for silversmith villages, street food tours, contemporary art and folk festivals, and 4-wheel driving up the side of Mount Merapi. And the food that it is most famous for is gudeg, which includes sweet braises of jackfruit and chicken and coconut and spices. And now it's time to hear from our first project owners. Thank you.
Thanks, Miriam. We now welcome Pak Bisma Jatmika, Director of Tourism Industry and Institution, the Borobudur Tourism Authority Board, Ministry of Tourism and Creative Economy, to discuss the Borobudur Highland project. Previously, Pak Bisma has served as an expert in economic and regional development at the Bureau of Regional Coordination, West Java Province, and as Business Development Manager in a Trans-Pacific shipping company. He earned his doctorate degree from Indonesia Islamic University in Yogyakarta and is a guest lecturer at Gadjah Mada University and Bandung Institute of Technology. Before Pak Bisma speaks, we have a brief video presentation, and please remember to use the Q&A function to submit any questions about these projects. Pak Bisma.
Apa yang sebenarnya kita rindukan? Hiruk-pikuknya, rutinitasnya, pengorbanan yang sedang kita lakukan merupakan sebuah perjuangan agar semua orang yang kita cintai diberi keselamatan. Saling jogo, supaya eling lan waspodo. Sebelum ini, kita tidak pernah memperhatikan bahwa ternyata tembok kamar terlalu sempit. Sosial media adalah tempat yang bising dan rumit. Dan menahan diri itu lebih dari sulit. Jadi, apa yang sebenarnya paling kita rindukan? Hiruk-pikuknya, rutinitasnya. Yang paling kita rindukan adalah eratnya hubungan, kedekatan yang menghangatkan, kebebasan dan keberanian untuk keluar dari zona nyaman. Dan satu-satunya cara untuk melepas rindu adalah dengan berharap terlebih dahulu. Nanti aku akan kembali.
Okay, thank you everyone. Good morning from Indonesia. Ladies and gentlemen, our distinguished guests, allow me to share my screen. Okay, I want to introduce the Borobudur tourism area. Okay. First of all, if you have seen the video that our project site is in the Highland in pine forest, yeah, where we can have some open space, and we try to develop a kind of rejuvenate and health tourism, which is very appropriate for our new normal condition now. Our president encouraged us to grow the tourism, and the central government have commitment to grow tourism sector in Yogyakarta and Central Java. And we try so hard to get people not to only come in numbers, but also the investment to come to this destination. This is our visitor profile, yeah. The foreign visitors and domestic visitors. Actually, our strength is in domestic visitors, around 55 million visitors a year in 2019, and growing around 14% average annually. And this is why we could say that tourism in Yogyakarta and Central Java will recover faster than other areas because our local power. Yeah. And about the foreign visitors, we have around 1.1 million in 2018 until 2019, and most of our visitors come from Malaysia, Singapore, Japan, and there are some from Australia, about 4% from the total. And currently, 2020, we already operate one international airport, the Yogyakarta the International Airport, around 1.5 hours from the Yogyakarta city. The capacity is 15 million passengers, and it could serve wide-body airplane like the 777 or the A330, A340 to Yogyakarta. So there will be a long-haul flying that we could serve in Yogyakarta. And also we have another 3 international airports, the Semarang, the Adi Sumarmo in Solo, and then the Adi Sucipto. The Adi Sucipto currently is only served for the propellers airplane. And about the experience, we have this UNESCO cultural heritage. The visitors number around 4 million and average a year, and the foreign visitors around 200 until 300,000 visitors. This is our main attraction, but not only the Borobudur temple. These are several experiences that we could get in Yogyakarta and Central Java. Yeah, first about the ancient temples, the Hindu, the Buddhist temple, and then the Kraton. This is the palace of the king in Yogyakarta, and this one is palace in Solo, and other art, yeah, like music art and dancing, and this one is a puppet show, the wayang. And then we also have a very strong cultural and historical attraction. This one are old cities, and this one, the Kota Lama Semarang, was built during the Netherlands when they were occupying Indonesia, and the Sampokong, these two, Kota Lama Semarang and Sampokong, is in Semarang City in Central Java. And the lake, and this one is the ancient volcano, yeah, in Yogyakarta. And also we have this early man site. This is also one of the UNESCO heritage in Central Java and Yogyakarta. We also have several international events with 2,000 and 20,000 until 40,000 visitors, and around 20% of the visitors are foreign visitors. And the Borobudur Marathon is one of our big sport event, yeah, already known by many foreign travelers, and it should be held in around September or October, but because our condition now in pandemic, we could not do this event. Maybe next year we will start again. And about the investment profile, we have two projects. The first one is our project is 300 hectares, as we have seen in the video, 300 hectares that we will develop with the concept of cultural and adventure tourism here. We're in 800 meters above sea levels, and the air is quite cool. And our approximate investment is around 1,050 room hotels. And the total visitors is around 500,000 visitors. These numbers already calculate with the carrying capacity, because we need to keep the ecology system there still running well. And then this is our development plan. We will construct all the basic infrastructure in 2021, and there is already one investor that will do the groundbreaking in 2021. And this is several concept or image about what can we invest in Borobudur Highland in our project site. Mostly are villas and resort 5 stars or 4 stars. And these are some MOUs already signed with some investors from Indonesia, but they will use international chain to operate their resort in our area. Another one is one project from the Central Java government. This is the Legowo, nearby from the Semarang city. It's only around 40 minutes, and this resort area is located near the biggest lake in Central Java. The lake is about 3,000 hectares. I'm sorry, and the area of Legowo is around 400 hectares. There is no issue about the land ownership, because the land is owned by the government of Central Java, and they're very welcome for us to develop some 4-star resort or 5-star resort, and the location is quite good in here. There are several attractions like the coffee plantation and the Museum of Railway, and it's nearby from the international airport in Semarang, Ahmad Yani International Airport. And we could go from Legowo to Yogyakarta is only 1 until 2 hours. And we already know that the Borobudur area, or we say the Central Java and Yogyakarta, is now connected by the toll road from Jakarta until Surabaya. So that's why we are very confident that the recovery in Central Java and Yogyakarta, or we call it the Borobudur tourism area, will be faster than not the other site or tourism destination in Indonesia. This is my short presentation. Maybe if you have some question and answer, please just put in the question and answer. Thank you.
Thank you, Pak Bisma. Now to Pak Edward Dana Pardamian Napitupulu, President Director of PT Pelindo Properti Indonesia, to discuss the Boom Marina project. Pak Edward is an expert in civil engineering with almost 500 projects in port infrastructure, mini gas power plants and shore connection projects to his credit. He is a non-permanent lecturer at Petra University in Surabaya and a doctoral candidate at the Diponegoro University in Semarang. Again, first, we have a brief video presentation, and keep those questions flowing. Please use that Q&A function. Thank you.
Okay, good morning or good afternoon in Australia. My name is Edward, but you can call me Edo. Okay, we will start the presentation. Maybe Bu Arum. Thank you, Bu Arum. Thank you, Phil, for the time. Okay, this is the figure or resilient tourism explorer from Marina in Indonesia. You can see from the north west, it's come the line of the boat or yacht come to the Indonesia from the Europe and others in China, Singapore, or Malaysia. In the north of the east, China, Hong Kong, Korea, and Japan. And we can see from the Southeast Australia and New Zealand. So when he come to the Indonesia, he will stay or stop in the Jakarta and continue Semarang, Surabaya, and Bali. Bali is very near with the Banyuwangi. Bali, we have the project to be Indonesia Marina Terminal Hub. So the Bali and Banyuwangi will be connecting because the Bali is under our Pelindo 3 is our holding company, and PPI, our company, is operated the Marina, also in Marina too. And in Banyuwangi is our project, next project to get some investment for the Marina. If you can see if you see the line, we can continue after come to the Bali and or the Banyuwangi can go to the Labuan Bajo, Kalabahi, Wakatobi, and Raja Ampat. So it's very, very fantastic location for tourism. Okay, now we continue to the Banyuwangi. Sorry, okay. So the Banyuwangi, as Ibu Miriam Tulevski said before, is the one of the district of East Java province, has a great potential as an attraction for the foreign tourism and domestic. So for the geography location of Banyuwangi is in the edge of Java Island. So the makes a Banyuwangi district that's offer a very exotic coastal scenery. In addition to the beach, Banyuwangi also have the mountain, like the Blue Fire in Ijen and waterfall, plantation national parks. In addition, in location is very near in Bali. Is a separation with only the Strait of Bali. If we use the ferry, is only take 35 minutes to crossing the strait, and then we can continue with the car transportation to the center of the Bali is 3 hours. So Banyuwangi is very strategic position, and we can see the okay. We can see the information about the tourism data. For the Banyuwangi district, domestic tourists almost 5 million, 5.8 million. And what about the foreign tourists is 102,000 come to the Banyuwangi. So it's very location interesting for the tourists. And how about the tourist visitor who come to the Boom Marina? We can see that our data from the July until the January 2020 is almost 140,000. And we can look the April and May because it's the pandemic situation. Is we in the Boom Marina is stopped to open the visitor because it's from suggestion from our government, and we open again in June, July, and August. So we can see the number of visitors come good too. So it's potential if you invest in our location. So this is a previous events in our location in Boom Marina, Banyuwangi, is from 2016 We have a jazz festival, Gandrung dance, and like a bikers community. And in 2017 is Gandrung dance and MPLU gathering. And in the 2018 is we have a jazz. So the jazz is very routine. Even come to we show to our customer in the Marina. As like at the Jazz Festival in 2019. Only in this year, 2020, we can offer jazz because you know the pandemic. But we start, we will start. But in the yesterday, we start to bring the dance for our customer, because in the August we open our Boom Marina in Gandrung Sewu. We will we show to the audience and get the appreciate from the visitor. So this is our master plan. The master plan is note in blue and red. So Pelindo 3 or Pelindo 3 as our holding has been doing basic infrastructure almost 200 billion since the 2015. And after that, we are looking the strategy partner for continue build of the for the tourism and business. It's maybe it's needs budget 500 billion. The Marina boom area in the 40 hectares. So we can see that in the red is not yet implemented, and the blue is done. So or the best for our customer or our investor come to the Banyuwangi. If you are interested to the build marina or the hotel or retail, something like that. This is our proposed to location is Marina Resort and Commercial Zone. Is land is 130,000 meters square. The capacity is 74 dry berth and 118 wet 100. Its investment maybe is average is 200 billion, something like that, 200 billion. And Ecoport and Theme Park is 85,000 meters squares, need investment 73 billion. And hotel and convention hall and retail need a land on the land in 26,000, need 122 billion, and Theme Park 2 need 163 and 163 billion, something like that. So it's a location. We have ERR if you're interested, and next we can discuss ERR and NPV. But in especially in the hotel, from the local government have a standard have a standard minimum. We must be built in 4th and 5th stars is must be built in our location. Okay, continue, Bu Arum, after the thank you. Yes, this is a location by the picture. And then next, this is a current facility. Yeah, we can see the causeway. It is very Instagrammable. It's very good if you get the photo in the night. And then it is a marina location for the yacht. And amphitheater we have this location for the dance and the jazz festival. We have a camping ground and Rumah Junjung. We get one model for the Rumah Junjung, and heritage building is ex the warehouse. from the 18 and 18 from the 18 and the restore resort. I think all of the presentation from me. Thank you very much.
Well, thank you, Pak Edward. We'd now like to invite Pak Bisma and Pak Edward to respond to some questions we've received. And I have seen there has been some questions coming in, but would encourage you all to post your questions in the Q&A section. Perhaps first, and a question we'd received earlier, perhaps to Pak Bisma, really just to expand upon the Indonesian government's commitment to supporting the developments you've talked about in the tourism sector in Borobudur.
Yeah, Indonesian central government have a very strong commitment. First, they already construct around 600 kilometers toll road from Jakarta, capital city of Indonesia, until Surabaya. Now, the domestic travelers can travel from Jakarta to Semarang. It's only 5 hours. Before the toll road, take like 9 or 10 hours. And then from Semarang to Yogyakarta, only around 3 hours now. And there are several destinations during this, we call it safari. We have several destinations like in Cirebon, and in Semarang, and also in Solo before you arrive in Yogyakarta. And currently several overlanders from Europe has already tried this route. Yeah. So they arrive in Jakarta, and then they take the Land Rover all the way to Surabaya, and they can visit several destinations. And also we have this new airport, 15 million capacity a year, it's quite big. And we also develop all the human resource needed to serve all the tourists. So we're not only dealing with the hardware, but we're also dealing with the software. And our main attraction is in culture, in historical, so we're creating the storytelling, and we also cooperate with all the industry, the tour and travel, to build the package, and the government really give their support, like in last year about the ticket and about how we could do the package deal with all the industry, so we could give the experience in a reasonable price. So we were not talking only about the central government actually, but we do this with several other industries.
Thank you. And for Pak Edward or Pak Edo, there have been some questions around other tourism destinations in the region, and just asking what other destinations in the Banyuwangi region area make it an attractive destination for tourists.
So for the Banyuwangi, with many attractive location, and we just with what I said before is we not just only we have a good location from the tourism from the mountain until to the beach, but the location very near to the airport and the connectivity to the sea. If you heard the information, our government built the tollway into 2023 or 2025. So it's very close from Surabaya. It maybe take 3 hours from the Surabaya. And for the airport, if you get the plane from Jakarta, it's take maybe 1.5 hours from Jakarta, and location to our location is need more, maybe 45 minutes only for that. And if you're the Bali, if you use the transportation, car transportation, maybe you take 5 hours. Or if you want to go to the Bromo, is we need 3 hours to go to the Bromo. So it's very interesting location. It's very nice to come to the Banyuwangi.
Thank you. And Pak Bisma, on a similar question, in the Joglosima region of Yogyakarta, Solo and Semarang, what do you see as the broader tourism appeal in that area?
Yeah, actually, the first, the vision, yeah. We would like to transform this destination into a business and pleasure destination. We have this cultural, we have this historical, and we also have several places that we could develop rejuvenation and health. And we also welcome everyone from abroad. Yeah, we see the profile from all over, not only Asian, but also from Australia. And let's say that people here could do some business and watch some show and then rejuvenate, and and then they could go back to their city with a very, fresh condition and fresh air and fresh mind, things like that. And we really hope that this will be one of the leisure business and pleasure hub in Asian area.
Thank you, Pa Bisma. Pa Edward, we must have some keen sailors on the call today because they're particularly interested in the boatyard facilities planned for the Marina, particularly in relation to servicing for yachts. I wonder if you can talk on that. If Pa Edward is there?
Yes, for the boat Marina facility.
Yes,
Okay.
Yacht servicing particularly.
Yes, for the yacht facility, we can join operation, Pak, with the investor. If the investor build, because we have existing booth, you can see in our presentation. But if the investor come and need to edit the facility, it's very, very open for us. And then we can open coordination and cooperation for others investor if interesting and we open to the agent for the agent yeah, something like that, like our operation in Bali. In Bali we have the agent cooperation and get some the yacht come to our location in Bali. So it's the same cooperation and coordination with the yacht investor.
Thank you, Pa Eda. Again, back to Pa Bisma, there have been some interest in transport arrangements in the region around Borobudur, and wonder if you can talk a little bit about those transport arrangements, including from the new airport, Pa Bisma.
Yeah, so currently the government already signed one of the national transportation company, the Damri, to connect Yogyakarta International Airport to Yogyakarta. And there are several routes, not only directly to Yogyakarta by the bypass road, but also to go to several tourism destinations. Yeah, actually, like tourism village. That's the first one. And then another one is about the train. There will be a train operate from Yogyakarta Airport to Kota Yogyakarta, the Yogyakarta city, and it will only take around 40 minutes. And then there are two other toll roads from what we call the Bawen area to Yogyakarta, and then from Solo to Yogyakarta. We connect the area for only around 30 minutes or 20 or 30 minutes. So all the toll roads will connect all the destination, all the attraction in less than an hour. And that has already been commitment from the central government. In 2021, these all modes will be ready.
Thanks, Pa Bisma. Pa Edward, you may have talked of some of the staging for your projects in your presentation. A question has come in about the 36 or so elements of your master plan, and just wondering about the proposed staging of that development. Perhaps you can comment on that, Pa Eda.
Staging for, sorry, Phil, can you?
Just how you see the overall project progressing, how it will start and how it will develop over time.
Okay, well, we start develop our holding because the PPI, Pelindo Property, is a subsidiary in Pelindo 3. So Pelindo 3 have a commitment to developing from the 2015 until to 2019. So we built almost 200 billion for basic infrastructure, and we built some of building like the Marina yacht and restaurant, something like that. For the Marina yacht is rent of someone we have a rent. It is rent from someone in our yacht. So we open to the restaurant. You can see in the Rumah Junjung is a prototype we build to, and we continue. If you're the investor interesting, we can continue to build others Rumah Junjung as like a resort, something like that.
Okay. And thank you, Pak Edward. And again, for Pak Bisma, if I can swap back to him, Miriam and yourself talked about the expected large numbers of visitors, and just interested to see, again, what sorts of numbers you're expecting and the mix between domestic and international visitors to the Borobudur region, Pak Bisma.
Yeah. I'm not worried about the domestic, because domestic already visit like 55 million a year, okay? And it's growing like 15 to 20%. And because of this toll road from Jakarta to Surabaya to Central Java and Yogyakarta, I think that we will recover sooner, than other destination, because our power is in domestic travelers. But about the numbers from the foreign visitors, we are now transforming our concept from volume to quality, and say that last year we have 1.1 million foreign visitors here, with around 1,200 or $1,500 spending per visit. Now we're trying to try to get the higher spending, and with that we're already talked to the industry and say how could we sell a package that will keep them longer here and do some spending here. So they said we have to work hard to transform this to the quality, to the way people give the service. Not only the hardware, not only the road or the cars or whatever, etc., but also about the human resource, how we could treat people better, and then the process about how could we welcome and we transport them, and then we say goodbye with smile, things like that. So okay, and now because the Ministry of Tourism will transform the concept from the numbers to quality, we will align all the strategy with the industry as well, so that maybe we could still have this 1.1 or maybe less, because of this pandemic, say 500 or 600,000 visitors, but they will stay here longer, they will get all the experience and will spend higher than it used to be. Like that, Phil.
Thanks, Pak Bisma. And just a final question in this session, perhaps to Pak Edo. There have been a number of questions that show interest in the environmental aspects of all of the developments. And I just wonder, Pak Edo, if you could talk about some of the approaches your project takes to, looking after the environment, water management issues, waste, and the like. Pak Edward.
Okay, for the environment topic, because we very keep the location like a plantation, something like that, because we build we have a plan to build the eco park. The eco park is many plantation which will be put in there, and then that's only the plantation. We can build the coordination environment too with local government. The issue of environment is very interesting, because we keep ecosystem in our location part.
Well, thank you very much, Pa Edward, and thank you to Pa Bisma. That brings that Q&A session to a close. So with that, now we'll have another brief introduction from Miriam Tulevski, setting the scene for our final two presentations. Thanks, Miriam.
Thank you very much, Phil. I'd like to point out just one comment here about access. At the moment, there are three routes into Indonesia. From Australia, you can fly directly into Bali, into Jakarta, or from Perth into Lombok. It took 50 years from the Bali-Jakarta flights, which started in 1969, for a third gateway to Indonesia to open, and that was in 2019 from Perth. As the Visit Indonesia Tourism Officer here in Australia, my goal is to encourage flights to Lombok from the east coast of Australia, and ultimately direct flights point to point from Australian airports into Komodo International Airport, which is in the town of Labuan Bajo, West Flores, that we're about to find out about, and also into Yogyakarta. So that means increased awareness and increased visitation, which is good for investors. So let's look at our next two destinations. Lombok, where the Mandalika is located. Now that island is the island immediately to Bali's east. It is a 30-minute flight. And Tana Mori, which is located on the western part of Flores Island and on the edge of the Komodo Marine Park. People visit Flores for sailing, sunsets, and wildlife. And this is all happening around the Komodo Marine Park. The park is one of 4 UNESCO World Heritage Sites of natural significance in Indonesia, and it's located off the western tip of Flores Island and the port town of Labuan Bajo, which you will hear about. Within the marine park, you can see the Komodo dragons on 2 islands, Rincha or Komodo Island, and it's the only place in the world where these animals exist. Also manta rays, it's one of the best dive spots in the world. Time is limited, so I need to move on to Lombok. Lombok mainland, 30-minute flight east of Java. It's a charming, laid-back, tranquil and naturally beautiful island. It's prized by families and couples who are seeking a quiet add-on or an alternative to Bali. It has over 100 small islands off its scalloped coastline, and what that means is lazy days in the water, beach walks, snorkeling with giant turtles, diving and surfing. The island is already known to Australian surfers because of its excellent surf break, which is where the Mandalika is located. In future, the island is going to offer quiet relaxation in the north and sport and entertainment in the south. The Mandalika will attract world attention next year with the launch of the MotoGP, a premier motorsport event. I hope I've provided some inspiration, and now let's hear from the project owners. Thank you.
Thanks very much, Miriam. Hearing you speak of Rincha Island reminds me of me climbing that on a very hot day just over Christmas. So it's a wonderful trip, but make sure you take a good hat and lots of water. We'd now like to welcome Alfonso Pardede, President Director of PT Flores Makmur Indonesia, Flores Prosperindo Tourist Destination Development at Labuan Bajo, to showcase the Tana Mori project. Pa Alfonso also serves as Deputy Head of the Standing Committee for Economic Zone Development with the Indonesian Chamber of Commerce and Industry, Kadin Indonesia, and is President Director of PT Tana Mori Makmur Indonesia and President Director of PT Tana Naga Makmur Indonesia. As our presentations continue, please do remember to keep your questions coming in. We hope there's going to be plenty for this next session. And before Pa Alfonso, we again have a brief video presentation. Thank you.
Okay, let me share my screen here. Yeah. Okay. Thank you, Phil and Miriam, for your brief explanation about Labuan Bajo. So once again, His Excellency, our Indonesian Ambassador for Australia and Vanuatu, Bapak Kristiarto Legowo, Indonesia Investment Promotion Center Director for Australia at Sydney, Bapak Henry Rombe, and to all the panelists and distinguished guests, good morning or good afternoon, everyone. So just like Phil explanation that we are Flores Prosperindo or FP, we are a private company that focusing in develop tourist destination at Labuan Bajo. So for your information, since October 2018, FP had cooperated with ITDC, state-owned enterprise that after my presentation, ITDC will also presenting about Mandalika. Why we choose cooperate with ITDC? Because ITDC already had experience operating Kawasan Nusa Dua Bali, and of course they will operate Mandalika for host of MotoGP 2021. So together, FP and ITDC hand in hand to create world-class tourist destination in Labuan Bajo. Soon after we already have agreement with ITDC, together we choose a world-class tourist consultant to prepare vision master plan and feasibility study for Tana Mori. And then we finally awarded to Arup. Arup is one of the best engineering consultant in the world from UK, and Arup consortium with WATG, also one of the best tourist destination consultant, also from UK, and then PDW from Indonesia, and Colliers International for a feasibility study. Just like Phil informed or Miriam informed before that, Labuan Bajo already famous because of Komodo dragon, the only one prehistoric animal that still live until today. So Komodo is not only Indonesian heritage, but it's a world heritage. Besides of that, Labuan Bajo also famous as one of the best spots for diving and snorkeling. I think Miriam also explained about Manta Point, yeah, one of the best spot for or meet directly to manta ray, manta fish. And usually tourists at Labuan Bajo will rent a boat for island hopping activity, and they go surrounding of Komodo National Park or the conservation area. For that reason, we start to discuss with all of the stakeholders at Labuan Bajo because we think that Komodo National Park is a conservation area, so we should calculate the carrying capacity, because once again, Komodo National Park not for commercial, so that's why we try to set or plan Tana Mori because become the alternative. Since January 2020, our President Jokowi already announced that Labuan Bajo will become the host of G20 and ASEAN Summit on year 2023. This statement related with our government decision that put Labuan Bajo become one of 5 super priority tourism destination. So many infrastructure development projects that had finished or just start from several years ago at Labuan Bajo. And I think you can see at this presentation, the important factor also that Changi Airport International Consortium with Cardiff Air Service will become the operator of Komodo Airport International for 25 years. I think we think that starting Changi become as investor and operator, this action, of course, will increase the level of confidence for all of investors that want to invest in Labuan Bajo. And once again, because the positioning Labuan Bajo become the premium tourist destination. Flores Island, about 3 times of Bali Island. Now there are 3 flights a day from Jakarta directly to Labuan Bajo. This information before the pandemic, and of course 9 flights a day from Bali to Labuan Bajo, and then several flights from Surabaya, Makassar, and Kupang. And the number, total number for international and domestic tourists, it's around 200,000 persons here for last year, and there's still no international direct flight to Labuan Bajo. So this is the interesting number. I think, or we believe that Changi already study and exercise the opportunity that tourists will come to Labuan Bajo as a hub of Flores Island. So yeah, after Changi will expand the runway and then they develop the apron, I think they will achieve their target for 25 years. Okay. Tana Mori locations, it's around 30 kilometers from Labuan Bajo. So Tana Mori position on the west of Flores Island, facing off directly to Rinca Island. So Rinca Island is one of the big 3 islands in Komodo National Park. So there are Rinca Island, Komodo Island, and then Padar Island. Now, okay, you can see in this picture, we can see directly from Tana Mori to Rinca Island. The distance from Tana Mori to Rinca maybe around only 5 kilometers. If we're using boat, it takes only around 10 until 15 minutes to arrive at Rinca. Or meanwhile, if we using boat from Labuan Bajo to Rinca Island, it takes around 1 until 1.5 hours. So this or Tana Mori will become the new hub for Labuan Bajo to go to the Rinca Island or other island that still surrounding at Komodo National Park. Okay, next, we can see the location directly. You can see the Golden Beach Sand at Tana Mori, and then we can see directly one scenery of blue water and green hilly contour gradually to hill at Tana Mori. You can see that the contour is very challenging. Okay, yeah, this is the other side or the other location from Tana Mori. Yeah, this is yeah our other pictures too. Okay, our vision or ITDC and FP vision for Tana Mori is to create a premium and integrated tourism gateway with spiritual, wellness, and cultural for the soul or as the soul. Okay, yeah, there are several facilities that we will provide at Tana Mori and become the selling and differentiation factor with other destination. I think this is can answer from the question before, why investors should invest or develop new hotel or buy the existing hotel. So in Tana Mori, we will provide the Komodo Discovery Center or research and development to study about Komodo dragons. Yeah, so everyone that comes to Tana Mori wouldn't need to go to Komodo National Park again as a conservation area. So we can get more knowledge easily about Komodo dragon in Komodo Discovery Center here. So we will completing also with Komodo theme park and other retail dining entertainment facility in here. Okay. Beside of that, Flores Island also famous for Homo floresiensis fossil. You can see that National Geographic magazine already discussed about it. That found at Liangbua near of Tana Mori, maybe around takes 40 kilometers. This hobbit human still keep many secrets that still need to study and analyze. We will provide a modern museum to tell this untold story, of course, about hobbit or Homo floresiensis and the other rich Flores, other cultural. So you know that Labuan Bajo or Tana Mori in the west of Flores Island. So if you go from the west to the east, there are so many other places that you can find many interesting cultural and also location. So for your information, you can see here in the east part of Flores Island there is La Malera location, and famous for traditional whale hunting. Okay, we will provide all of this information in modern museum. Okay, I think you can see this is our real perspective about Tana Mori. So beside of that, we also will provide the Marina for yacht or super yacht at Tana Mori. So every tourist or every guest that want to come to Tana Mori have two options for accessibility. So directly from Komodo Airport, we can use car. Maybe it only takes not more than 30 minutes, or using boat from Labuan Bajo City to Tana Mori, it takes only maybe around 30 until 45 minutes. Yeah, this is our indicative land using plan. So for your information, yeah, since the pandemic, yeah, we should try to repositioning our strategy. Yeah. So you can see that we use maybe only 45 until 55% ratio land to develop. So there are still many more green area that we can use for outdoor facilities. And beside of the challenging counter, it will be very interesting for tourists here to come to Tana Mori. Okay, this is the 3D image that if we stand on the hill of Tana Mori, you can see directly to the ocean and of course to the Rinca Island. This is the other side. If we are standing or sitting in the resort, we can see the ocean, and of course this is the Marina. Yeah, we believe that this will become the option for the tourists. Yeah, not only using a car, but they can use a yacht or super yacht or boat come to Tana Mori from the airport or from Labuan Bajo City. Yeah, the interesting information again, Tana Mori name takes from Golomori village or Golomori location. Golo in local language means hill, and Mori means God. So Golomori means God hill. So this is already given for local communities. This is very important location. So that's why we hand in hand with ITDC to try to follow the guidance with the local, of course, government and then the local community. So that's why we should empowering local community to have a successful project. So, okay. This is our 3D image about the facility. You can see where's the clean water and then the wastewater treatment, the seawater reverse osmosis, and then smart marina facilities, the electricity, and then other facility. Okay, this is for your information. So starting that Indonesian government want Tana Mori become the host of G20 and ASEAN Summit, there are several changing strategy of investment. I mean the ownership of the land. So from 260 hectares land of Tana Mori, 100 hectares will owned by ITDC or state-owned enterprise synergize. Yeah. So 100 hectare will owned by government, and government will financing several projects especially for basic infra in Tana Mori. Because we want to host the G20 and ASEAN Summit in year 2023, our target to have the project handover at least in end year of 2022. So this is the interesting information for Australian investor. We will start our construction by next year, and then there are still several opportunity in here, something with smart integrated infrastructure, smart energy and utilities. And then for short-term project, especially for preparation of G20 and ASEAN Summit, we will provide at least two 5-star hotels, and then one 4-star hotels, and then convention center for 2,000 pax, and then the Marina, of course, and basic infra, and the Komodo Discovery Center, and other related facilities. Yeah, this is for your information. Right now, we are already have some due diligence that still on progress with investor or partners. So you can see in hotel or resort, we start to discuss with Intercontinental Hotel or IHG. They will settle or prepare Intercontinental or Regent Hotel, and of course the Six Senses for the resort and villa, and then Banyan Tree, and of course Accor. And then for renewable energy, we have MOU with Scatec Solar from Norway, and also from Indonesia, Watala. And then for smart system, we just start to discuss with ENGIE, one of renewable and also smart system implementation company. Their 20% shares still owned by a French company. So this is the information that we can share, and we are still open to discuss, of course, with Australia, hotel or resort investor, Marina. We believe that Australia is very advanced for marine, and then of course for Komodo Discovery, and then the modern museum investor operators and others. So once again, we look forward for any question or discussion about all investment or strategic partner opportunity at Tana Mori. Finally, Tana Mori, explore the beauty, but keep the nature. Thank you all for your attention.
Thank you, Pak Alfonso. That all looks very, very wonderful. Thank you again. That now brings us to our final presentation, and we welcome Ibu Emma Widiastuti, VP Business Development of Indonesia Tourism Development Corporation, to present on the Mandalika Special Economic Zone project. Ibu Emma has forged a successful career in the hospitality industry with over 13 years experience in hotel operations, sales and marketing, and food and beverage. Previously, Ibu Emma has served as Hotel Operations Analyst and Director of Sales and Marketing at the Hyatt Regency in Yogyakarta, and General Manager of the Hampton Inn in Bossier City, Louisiana in the US. Before Ibu Emma, we again have a brief video presentation, and I'd encourage you all to submit your questions. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Pak Phil, Ibu Miriam, and Excellency Kristiarto Legowo. And good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and all the distinguished guests. I would love to introduce the Mandalika and also what's the ITDC is all about. All right, before we start, I would like to first explain who ITDC is. We are actually state-owned enterprise in Indonesia. So we report directly to the Ministry of State-Owned Enterprises in Indonesia. ITDC, the main reason, the main vision and objective in Indonesia, it's pretty much developing and managing the large scale of the integrated tourism complex destination across Indonesia. You may have heard of Bali more. Bali is more famous in Indonesia. We have been operating in Bali for over 45 years, specifically a tourism complex named the Nusa Dua Bali. It's about 1.5 hours flight from Jakarta. It's 15 minutes from the international airport in Nusa Dua Bali, and also very much internationally and globally connected to the first for many MICE events, internationally, globally connected from other city and country along the world as well. So the Nusa Dua Bali, it's pretty much our legacy project of ITDC. This is example of the journey of the change of how we did in ITDC. The one on the left-hand side is actually how the Nusa Dua in 1970s, and the one on the right-hand side is actually the current development as we speak. ITDC, we built the infrastructure concept and master plan. We provide the utilities and then build access for the investor to come in. So it's pretty much we're developing and managing the tourism complex. The Nusa Dua is actually one of the legacy as we speak. It's pretty much the leisure destination. We are doing about like 500 weddings in a year, large scale MICE and events, and it's about 19 international brand hotel chains we have in Nusa Dua Bali. Also several international events that we've been held in Nusa Dua Bali. The last one is about in 2018 when we had the IMF World Bank, and it was about 20,000 to 25,000 delegations around the world attending this event. Okay, now we move to the next destination in Indonesia. We've been tasked and assigned by the government of the Republic of Indonesia to develop and manage another tourism destination. And it's in Mandalika. It's located in the island called Lombok, Nusa Tenggara Barat. So pretty much the island, it's next to Bali. So you can't miss this island because it's very near to Bali. It's about 30 minutes flight from Bali, an hour 45 minutes flight from Jakarta. And as we speak at this moment, it's about like 25 minutes away from the international airport in Praia. The new bypass has been budgeted and approved, providing a better connection to the Mandalika, to the destination. So it should be finished in Q4 2020. Once this bypass road is ready, so it will take about 15 minutes only from the airport to Mandalika. All right, Mandalika is about 1,175 hectares in terms of the size. It's about like 3 to 4 times larger than the Nusa Dua in terms of the size. And in the future, it will be developing about 16,000 hotel rooms in 2040 and some commercial space, 78 berths Marina, and also international, we welcome to the international branded theme park, a 16-kilometer coastal beachfront. We do have 5 beaches, it's actually in Mandalika, White Sand Beach. And then Lombok is recently becoming more and more connected. Thank you for the development of the island, that we also have several recent direct flight actually from Perth, Australia. It's using Air Asia. And from Singapore, it's actually Silk Air, and also from Malaysia, it's using Air Asia as well. And of course, domestic airline, it's very supporting for the visitor to come into the Lombok. So this is a great for us, and it does boost the visitors, tourists to coming into Lombok with the more and more flight coming into Lombok. The differentiation, the Mandalika, we're offering eco-friendly position as well as the amenity, attraction, and entertainment. Ibu Miriam was mentioning at the beginning that since Mandalika is located at the southern part of Lombok Island, we will be bringing the sport and entertainment attraction in Mandalika. So as eco-friendly position tourism complex, several, like for example, like renewable power, water management and conservation area is taken into our consideration as well. Renewable power, we do have 100 hectares allocated for the solar cell technology. Also water management, seawater rivers, or the SWRO has been in place over there as well. Okay, this is example of several infrastructure has been built in the Mandalika, and several activities. Also the we call UMKM or Bazaar, so driving the local communities, developing local business on site. We do providing this Bazaar in Mandalika as well. And the confirmed development for the differentiated brand. As we speak, we do have Novotel in Mandalika. It's about 102 keys. And whenever we go to the new destination, ITDC will kickstart on building a new hotel. So ITDC will also build a Pullman hotel, a 5-star property. It's 264 room key that will adding to the room inventories in the Mandalika. And hopefully by the 2021 in Q4, it will be soft opening of the Pullman hotel. This is actually existing and confirmed hotel development in 2021 in the Mandalika. Some of them is actually the local chain. Several of them is international brand hotel chain. Mandalika is dividing into 3 locations, 3 zona, east, middle, and west. The area on the west side of the destination, it's actually the first phase of the development has been done at this week. Marina, we have set aside several locations for investment in the Marina. The available lot, it's open for the investor to come in to invest in building the hotel and or the commercial. And this is actually the east side. We replicate what we did in the Nusa Dua Bali. With a 5-star, we welcome the luxurious property in the Mandalika. Infrastructure. ITDC has been able to secure a soft loan in about 4.5 trillion rupiah, I'll say in rupiah. This is actually the soft loan we have been received from the AIB, Asian Infrastructure Investment Bank. It's about $248 million US. And also a soft loan from the National Interest Account is about $74 million US. This loan is to basically to finish some of the basic infrastructure in the Mandalika. So with everything goes well, it should be done the whole entire infrastructure area in Mandalika by 2024. as one of the special economic zone, of course, we prefer the providing sound climate investment to the investor, which is that fiscal and non-fiscal. Fiscal, we provide the benefit for the income tax, allowance, VAT, luxury sales exemption, and also import duty and some other tax. Non-fiscal, we are actually offering some of the benefit, which land title that it could be extendable for up to 80 years after the hotel is operate. So basically, this land title is also bankable in this case. This is some of the main commercial area. We will be more than happy to send it over if there is any anyone would like to know more about how to do our investment in the Mandalika. Investor requirement as the required by the government of the Republic of Indonesia. Some of the requirement we could actually send it over as well. And this one is actually, we will bring one of the entertainment and sport to the island in 2021. Ibu Miriam was mentioning about the MotoGP in 2021. So with all being said, that with this event, we will be able to secure or create another 7,500 new jobs when this event coming into the island. Also, in addition to the job that will be created from the hotel that will be built in the Mandalika, so it could be 25,000 more job, a new job that will be available in Mandalika, Lombok. We had been signing the promoters for Dorna in 2019. This is actually to secure the promoter agreement that it is confirmed that we will have this event, one of the international event in Mandalika, Lombok, starting in 2021 for another 5 years and extended into 10. And also our president is very welcome to, this is actually that Indonesia will be ready for 2021 event.
Beautiful day, blue skies, it's warming all the time. The big moment draws closer. He got nudged out wide by Johan Zarco and he's tried to squeeze the power on. Josh's got room to turn 10, beautiful white function on the inside.
thank you for the incredible job in Mandalika GP.
Thanks a lot, Indonesia, for being a great fans of MotoGP. Ciao.
Thank you, Indonesia fans. We can't wait to race in Mandalika GP. Ciao, ciao.
Thank you to Mandalika GP to make a dream come true.
We are very excited to race in Indonesia, so we can wait to go to Mandalika GP project. Bye-bye.
Thank you to Indonesia for the great support of our great event. So hello everybody, just see you in 2021 in Indonesia. Bye-bye.
Let's race in 2021.
Thank you, Indonesia, for the incredible project of Mandalika GP.
Thank you to the people of Indonesia for the support of this future great event. See you in Lombok.
Well, we welcoming you to Mandalika, welcoming you to Lombok, welcoming you to Indonesia. So that's the end of the presentation. That's from ITDC. And certainly when we create this tourism destination, we would love to have more extended visit. It's not just Bali, but also Bali, Mandalika, Bajo, Borobudur, and Banyuwangi as well. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Ibu Emma. That looks all very colourful and exciting. We'd like to invite yourself and Pa Alfonso to respond to some of the questions that have been coming in. I do note that our very efficient panelists and hosts have been responding already online to some of those questions, but would like to encourage people still to submit further questions that they have, as we'll use the ones that we don't get to further guide our future events and follow up on our actions for this event. So thanks very much. And perhaps, Pa Alfonso, I can start with you. You've highlighted the importance of the G20 and ASEAN summits coming up in the years ahead. They're very exciting initiatives. I just wonder what you see the promise from those events, and particularly why that would be extra appeal for Australian investors, perhaps.
Yeah, of course, Phil. We believe that G20 and ASEAN Summit, FP and ITDC believe that this is the important event, to trigger the Tana Mori. So at least we had a short-term target, because we should finishing the project handover at least end of year of 2022. And for Australian investor, we believe because the geographic, because we are quite closely, and there are many same geographic or climate that we need the technology or your advance, especially for marine, and then like maybe the water treatment and others, and of course waste management. So because the distance is not too far away, there are already 9 flights a day from Bali to Labuan Bajo, and then of course from Australia to Bali there are already airways, directly, and then from Perth to Lombok also. So starting that Changi will expand the runway and then develop the airport. We believe that Singapore or Changi will expand especially for the international direct flight. So that's why Australian investor really have big roles for development at Labuan Bajo or Tana Mori. That's my answer.
Right. Thank you very much, Pa Alfonso. And again, returning to Ibu Emma, you've talked, very interesting, the concepts, the development of Mandalika as a tourism destination, and also that concept of complementing Bali rather than competing. And just wonder, from an investor perspective, what kind of sweeteners that you and your organization can give to prospective investors wanting to come to Mandalika.
All right, thanks, Phil. The Mandalika is actually the first special economic zone of the tourism Indonesia. This will entail the free value-added tax for the construction phase and the VAT-free and also several benefits that we offer. That is basically the difference between the Nusa Dua and the Mandalika. So with that being said, several fiscal and non-fiscal that is being offered by the government of the Republic of Indonesia, in this case, providing more benefit for the investor. In addition to some of the income tax reduction, it also applies depending on the investment value. So this is actually the sweetener that we can have for any investor that willing to invest in Mandalika.
Thanks, Ibu Emma.
Pleasure.
Again, Alfonso,
Yes.
some interest around other work supporting the projects in Komodo and Labuan Bajo, and just wondering when some of the other reports that the World Bank and other groups may have done might be available to investors.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, maybe for your information, World Bank also financing the integrated tourism master plan of Labuan Bajo and Komodo National Park. So this is interesting because once again, we believe that Komodo not only for Indonesian heritage, but this is world heritage. So everyone, we have responsible how to protect this Komodo dragon. So everyone that our grandchildren still can see and know more about Komodo dragon. And maybe for additional information that we should inform you that FP and ITDC is still in progress also to have a special economic zone status for Tana Mori. So our target that at least maybe in first quarter of 2021, we can get the special economic zone status. So just like Ibu Emma informed before, with special economic zone status, it will be more interesting for Australian investor or other investor because there will be many fiscal or non-fiscal incentive at special economic zone, like tax holiday, ease of doing business, and then property right for foreigners and others. So the interesting part also that Nusa Dua, Mandalika, and Tana Mori, they are close, and the location or the position in the short term, it's every island. So it will be interesting.
Thanks, Alfonso. Ibu Emma, returning to you once again, just in terms of the process an investor might need to follow, what guidance do you have perhaps with your ITDC hat on in what an investor needs to go through and how you can help them?
All right. As the state-owned enterprise, we adhere to the process that is mandated by the law, basically. And it's a standard process starting from sending us a letter of intent from the investor. And then the next phase of the process is actually doing due diligence and ending up by the LUDA, or LUDA is stand for the Land Utilization and Development Agreement. We can share all the process to the investor or potential investor, as all investors had the same access to the information. So the first phase, usually any available lot for the investment will be available at the ITDC website. So people can select and choose which area that they are very interested in doing the investment.
Thanks, Ibu Emma. And I guess just very quickly before we come to the end of the event today, so a little bit has been made, and I visited the Komodo National Park myself, and I have my small souvenir Komodo dragon behind me.
Yes.
A lot of people have asked about the proposed entry cost pricing to come in and visit the Komodo dragons, and just wonder if there is any update on what's happening there.
Yeah. Okay, Bill. So refer to our presentation that once again, this Komodo National Park is a conservation area. So this is not commercial area. So we need to calculate the carrying capacity. And because this is the World Heritage, it is our responsibility to protect this area. So from our governor that they already give the statement that he wants to have, or he want to put the Komodo Island is become more exclusive, or maybe register member that can go to Komodo Island. So from exclusive or expensive membership, our government can financing better for Komodo National Park. I mean for Komodo Dragon itself. But for Rinca Island, there's our government still open it for everyone or for the community. So I think this is the one of a good idea, and beside of that, it will become or similar with our vision for Tana Mori. So we will provide the other alternative. That's not everyone should go to the conservation area, but you can see and you can know more about Komodo Dragon and everything that related with the Komodo National Park in Tana Mori.
Thanks, Pa Alfonso. And once again, thank you so much to yourself, Pa Alfonso, and Ibu Emma for your closing presentations.
Thank you.
We've all seen and heard some great presentations on 4 exciting new tourism developments in a variety of beautiful destinations in Indonesia. We hope that these will spark some excitement and interest, and we'll look forward to hearing further from you. That brings my contribution to an end for today, so thanks for having me with you. I'll now hand over to Pa Henry Rombe, Director of the Indonesia Investment Promotion Centre in Sydney, to close the event. Thank you. Pa Henry.
Thank you very much, Phil. Good afternoon, everyone, all distinguished guests. On behalf of Indonesia Investment Coordinating Board, I'm Henry Rombe, from Director of Indonesia Investment Promotion Center in Sydney. Would like to convey first and foremost my gratitude for distinguished our Ambassador of the Republic of Indonesia for Australia, His Excellency Bapak Kristiarto Legowo, for the welcoming remarks. Thank you for your support, your assistance, so this event can be organized very, very well. I would like to also acknowledge the team in the Embassy of the Republic of Indonesia in Canberra, Consulate General of Indonesia in Sydney, Melbourne, Perth, and also Consulate of Indonesia in Darwin for their contribution and input for making this webinar successful. Thank you also for AIBC, Australian Indonesia Business Council, for the cooperation and the joint effort to help this webinar. Big thank you for you, Mr. Phil Turtle, the National President of AIBC, as our moderator today, that makes this webinar going smooth from part to part. Thank you so much, Pa Phil. Thank you also to Miriam Tulevski from VITO for presenting Indonesian tourism update. I am sure that we can create much collaboration in the future. A big applause to all presenters from Indonesian Tourism Development Corporation, ITDC, the Flores Prosperindo, Borobudur Authority Development Board, and Pelindo Properti Indonesia, who has presented 4 potential investment projects in Mandalika, Lombok, Tana Mori, Flores, Miriam, Banyuwangi in East Java, and Borobudur Heritage in Yogyakarta. All the presenters have been amazing and enlightening us with a lot of investment opportunities available in 4 different tourism destinations. It is now a good opportunity for us to continue our effort to boost more investment realization from Australian businesses into Indonesia's tourism sectors and strengthen our investment cooperation using IA-CEPA as the main platform. We are sure and believe that there will be investors who are interested and want to explore more details on the project that have been offered. If one of you have an interest on the projects and would like to know more details, or maybe you need an intimate meeting session with the project owner, IIPC Sydney will be very happy to facilitate you. IIPC Sydney, representing Indonesia Investment Coordinating Board, will be at your deeper to connect you to all the stakeholders from government to business people in Indonesia to accelerate any investment interest from Australian businesses. To support your investment plan in Indonesia, we also provide you with all information related to the investment procedure, investment license, and regulatory aspect. In addition to this webinar, we will have another webinar to showcase more investment opportunities. On the 10th of September, our colleagues from East Java will present investment opportunities in the region. There are a lot of exciting opportunities available on there. Again, the proposed projects are ready to welcome you. And finally, thank you so much for all participants. Wish you all have a very fruitful webinar today. If you need any information regarding investment in Indonesia, please, you may contact us or Indonesian Embassy in Canberra or Consulate General in every state in Australia, or you may also contact our partner IIPC in Australia. Once again, thank you very much. See you in our next webinar. May God bless you all. Thank you.
Working with professional and equal business partners creates a stronger confidence. Right across the land of opportunity, confidence and harmony, with a strong and growing economy, a young, expanding middle class, talented human capital, and a huge market to achieve higher levels of success with abundant opportunities together. Invest in remarkable Indonesia.
Thank you, Pak Phil. Thank you, Bu Miriam, and to all the panelists. Thank you very much.
Hi, Henry.
Thank you very much.
Pak Phil, thank you so much.
Thank
you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Bye, everyone.
Ya. Ibu, terima kasih Ibu. Terima kasih semuanya teman-teman. Terima kasih.
Terima kasih Pak Dubes.
Ya.